was a woman. She was dressed in fine garb. She was a temple prostitute, basically what it was. And she was somebody who died in Corinth around 69 AD. For a price, she would have a newborn son. For some reason, their religion was some strange thing. When you have a newborn son, you can offer it into a statue, and there's flames underneath the statue. You put the baby on the statue, and basically the baby would be cooked. And here she is in this temple. There was no let up to her torment. It was almost like all the little babies that she burned that were hers and other people's were tormenting her, mocking her, pouncing on her, just crawling and tearing her up. And she just screamed, and I had to turn away and walk. There was an individual that she practiced the black dark craft. She was a witch. I just knew that she was a witch, but she died many hundreds of years ago. But she was trapped in a coffin, scratching, trying to get out. She couldn't get out. She was in that position for years and years and years and years, hundreds of years. And then finally, when she got it open, all the demons would pounce on her. And I walked on to another cube. We looked in this other cube on this row, and there was another lady. And she believed that Mother Earth could save her, and that if she honored the trees and the rocks, and she was into this nature thing, and part of their religious practice that she would practice would be getting out in the fields and dancing around a fire with a bunch of other people doing the same. The people that she thought that she was with were actually demons, and they would come up to her and say, "You did this." They pick up a stone. You say, "The stone will save you here," and they smacked her with it. So she was standing there, and the demons reached down there and reached in her mouth, ripped out her tongue and part of her thing, and says, "You talk bad? Oh, the stones are not going to save you. Nobody can save you." Then they ripped off her, just actually took her skin and just peeled it off. It was really slow and agonizing to shreds until nothing to the skeletons. Then they took the bones and broke the bones, and she felt everything. Then her body would come back together. The flesh would come back together, and she'd be whole again, and it would start all over again. A different scene would happen. And some of the cruelest people on earth were in these. You know, some people, I don't like to say names of people or anything like that, but I will, you know, this one particular individual is definitely there, and everybody knows who it is. It's Adolf Hitler. Hitler was sitting in a cube. The cube was open, and it was just burning flames. He's just sitting there burning. And his flesh wasn't burning, and he had this hideous look on his face. And as he was burning, the flesh would be rotting, and he was feeling every bit of it. It was almost like every oven of the gas, of the concentration camps, all the tortures that went on there were being meted back to him in one intense flaming bit of stoked up white hot heat that would rot his flesh away at the same time, make him ashes, come back. He was just being tormented like that. He was just, I remember having this weird look on his eyes. It was just angry, vicious anger. And we were walking in another segment of hell near the back recesses of the wall, another segment of the deep dark pit. And we're coming to this one pit there was one place, and the cube was open, and inside there, this demon was trying to get me to go inside this cube in what looked like a dentist chair. I'm not afraid of dentists at all, but this thing looked like a dentist chair to me, with all these hideous creatures in there trying to say, "This is where you are going. And they want you in this cube here." And they were trying to get me in there, and I didn't want to go. And this part is very hard for me, because you got to understand, you are so scared. And this whole time you're there, you're just saying, "Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ." By that time, I was probably saying "Jesus Christ" so fast, Jesus Christ so fast, that it was a blur. That's all I can say. They wanted me in this cube, and I was scared. I didn't want to go in this thing. And like I said, throughout the whole time, you felt a connection with somebody from above, the Lord. And then all of a sudden, you could feel something coming for you. I was so petrified I couldn't distinguish what it was. You can feel the footsteps walking behind you and the ground thundering. And as it closer, whatever it was walking behind me. And I was too scared to turn away to see who it was because I didn't want these things to rush me and grab me. And all of a sudden, they started coming toward me. And then the presence got right behind me and they all scattered. And that purplish, big, tall, demonic creature, the regal creature, kind of backed slightly away and kind of bowed and kind of walked out, just kind of slithered on into the mist, into the darkness of hell. And the Lord was carrying me up. And I knew who it was. It was Jesus. He picked me up. This part I remember though so clearly. He just picked me up in his arms, and I could see where they crucified him. As he's holding me, his bones are pulled apart. He's saying, "You pulled apart my bones." And he carried me and kind of floated through the air and went through the center of the bottomless pit. I went straight up. I remember bits and pieces of being taken to a hospital and waking up in a hospital room and nurses poking me. And when I woke up out of this thing trying to breathe, I grabbed the doctor and said, "I'm not in a cube, am I?" "I better not be in a cube." And the doctor says, "No, you're in a hospital." And from it, I was no longer an atheist. There was a God, there is a heaven, and there is a hell.